insights, and this is going to be a quick 20-minute walk through with 3 takeaways again. That once we have the regulation, once we have the consultants enabling the asset owners to figure out their need on what they want to monitor, how can we use technology to enable these decisions at scale? So this session is moving from how we go from traditional monitoring, which was manual readings, to now integrated to decision intelligence. And the 3 takeaways, again, are the same from the morning session. More context, more data does not mean more clarity. Intelligence and analysis gives that clarity. Second, it's possible to do it today with the technologies that exist. And third, we're showing you some small examples on how we're making that possible. So what we have today is a lot of sensors, a lot of technologies, a lot of drones, a lot of ways to get that data. We can make all sorts of dashboards. You can upload any data, do any sort of analysis. What we still lack as an ecosystem from the regulatory asset owner consultant perspective is the decision making, like mentioned in the panel, the right person getting the right decision at the right time, the risk escalation, and we're still very reactive. We do not monitor proactively. And zooming back to before the cloud era and IoT era, and even till 5 years ago, we had CSVs, Excels, PDFs, and even today, Rodrigo mentioned, we give PDFs to clients based on the reports and projects. But how do we move from PDFs to operating systems? And just as an example, this is a current report and a PDF we submit to a client. This is dummy data, dummy project. It's just a static example where we say, okay, alert, alert. And then we sit down in the room and try to figure out why the alert happened and from what sensor the alert happened. We got to know that settlement increased by 4 mm on a certain location in the project. Pore pressure is rising. We got to know the what. We never knew why that what happened and how we can mitigate that what. So the movement we really get, yes, from integration to decision intelligence is to move from the what to the why, the how, and the so what. So how do we see the trends, the impact, the action? We achieved compliance by saying this is the problem. Yes, the tower moved 3 mm, so what? So in integrated monitoring, this is a pilot that we've done where we've taken that traditional report structure into a very dynamic live dashboard to enable prioritization and the so what. So we've taken that data, analyzed that data, distributed it into different zones. So now as a project manager, instead of looking at every report, every week, every day, and trying to synthesize the data, you look on top and you say, okay, zone 1 has an issue, zone 6 has an issue. Let's call the people in zone 1 and zone 6 and see actions. You know the zone risk classification, you know the summaries, you know the sensor health status, how many sensors are online and offline. And you know the actions that we built through the domain and the project knowledge. So you're really moving from where the issue is, what are the key alerts, what are the active insights and the actions that are suggested based on the project knowledge. So you're not calling people to read a static report every week. You're actually looking at this live and making decisions. So this is a real change. And from here, you move from the what to the why and the so what. Another deep dive example is that this was a bridge report that we were working on. And we were giving the data in G and then in FFT like we shared in the previous meeting. And now, instead of that, we started looking at, it's a cable stay bridge with a confidence interval giving insights, an alert score, and a trend over the week. So this, again, at an engineer level makes a lot of sense. Because as an asset owner or a project manager, you want to look at the larger picture. As a manager of a zone on a bridge, you want to look at the things that matter to you. So, the key question that we've really moved from is that compliance and traditional integrated monitoring meant inspect, report, wait, reactive, no decision intelligence. When we move to integrated decision intelligence, we can modify sequence, we can activate mitigation, and we can prevent an incident because we know where to look, why to look, and how to mitigate. So coming back to the Railway Ministry, this is the real report on Anji Khat Bridge. We were sitting with them, I think 2 weeks ago, and the head engineer of the Indian Railways was like, I get this report in my email every day and it doesn't make any sense to me. And we were like, why not? He said, you got the diagram that I know by heart in the 2 years that I've been working on this project, and I get a table with some random alerts, and I don't know why these are red, and I get a table. And he's a very distinguished structural engineer. So we said, okay, let's think about it. And we sat down with them and a specialist structural engineer, and we understood their need. Their need was to really see the safety of the bridge over 3 months. And in the last presentation, we showed how those 6 sensors, the accelerometers, did the magic. What we did here was that in 3 months, we had around 849,000 data points that we took from over 21 instrument families and over 6,000 files. So I'm repeating, 850,000 data points. We took that, we took the drawings, we sat with domain experts, which were the consultants. We sat with the asset owner, which was the Railway Ministry, and we drafted out the exact outcome. We had the outcome, we had the input, and then we devised statistical models to help them build a dashboard that helped them see the so what. So we moved from this report going in the emails every day to a live dashboard, giving a risk score out of 100 with a confidence interval, taking 81 of those sensors, and looking at the critical aspects that they wanted us to monitor. So now instead of getting an email like this every day, they get a live dashboard saying dynamic health based on the accelerometers is stable, and the so what. The live road response when trains are going is elastic, is good. The strain gauges from the static strain gauges are giving minimal drift. The tilt is stable. Wind exposure is good, and there's no anomaly on the inside. So what we did through this experience was really prototype traditional integrated monitoring, because this report comes from integrated data, to the so what, the why, and bridges behaving as per design, and then they can go into the depth and study what they want. We also built a RAG assessment for them, looking at yellow, green, red. So now instead of looking at the red on a table, they know red based on category, like a traffic light. And we give key event days because they wanted to know in long-term monitoring which were the key days where something happened and what changed versus last month. So this is all real data as well that we worked with. And what changed versus last month has now helped them take better decisions in terms of maintenance. And then we went a little bit more technical, but we did a synthesis for each panel and for each span and pylon on the bridge to build them an integrated view as well on where to look. So we went from the what to the why and the so what. And what this gives us as regulators, as asset owners, as consultants is really now with the consultants, we can study the data in a much easier way and enable the asset owner to maintain the bridges in a much easier format. As engineers, we have the data in a much more organized format. And as the asset owner, they understand what is happening to the asset, which they never did before. Now this can be done at scale. And here's another dam pilot that we're doing by giving asset level context based on, again, algorithms and confidence intervals. This is all statistical. And giving checklists. So here, the whole pilot that we've envisioned is that the asset owner was happy with his project, but the engineers were like, okay, you've given us a beautiful dashboard. The asset owner is getting context. Based on my day-to-day work, I need a checklist that I can mark off to mitigate the actions that are given to me. Normally, I would get a phone call or an email and then reply to the email. So what we piloted with them was, how would you feel if you got a checklist based on the data to see what can help the consultant. So quick insights, increase seepage monitoring to 4-hour intervals, or schedule the piezometer check, calibration check, or look at the portable flow meter on drain 007 on the project. So again, for the engineers, this checklist matters a lot. For the asset owner, this page matters a lot. And for the consultant, probably this page and this page matters a lot. So we took complicated reports and dashboards to simplicity. And this really gives us earlier risk detection, helps us target our needs, helps us move to a point where every single person in the ecosystem can take better decisions. And I think one thing we've learned from these pilots is that the flow that we discussed of prioritization to specific monitoring, to large-scale monitoring and archiving the data. Like Engineer Fala also said, they have so much historical data. How can we take that archive data and link it to live projects and make sense of it with the design context can add a lot of value. So, just to summarize, there were 3 questions you asked yourself. Before it was on a project, did something cross a limit? Then we reached what's happening across the asset when we came to integrated monitoring. And now the real question is, what should we do next? What should we do next as the consultants, as the contractors, as the asset owners? And I think if we can answer this question of what should we do next through intelligence integrated monitoring by bringing together regulation, by bringing together the domain knowledge the consultants have, by bringing together the technologies that all of our organizations are building, we can really take better decisions, because the future is not in more data collection. We're experts at that. It is truly in data analysis to answer the right questions at the right time. Thank you.